the valley of shadows I'll stand. Fearless I walk through the night, with faith as my guiding light. Table before me, even in the presence of my enemy. Anointed with oil, my head held high. I am who I am, no need to justify.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Generational Turnaround Show, where we seek the truth and we bring you the proof. And the proof comes from the guests that we invite because they are professional in their field. And you know I've got to pray us in before you meet Michael T. Brown. Hold on, wait a minute. I come before you with a heart full of gratitude, God, knowing that every good and perfect gift comes from you. Lord, we desire to leave behind a legacy of faith that glorifies you and blesses the generations after us. Teach us, oh God, to walk in your way, to live a life that reflects your love, wisdom, and righteousness. Let faith be more than just words. Let it be an example, a light that guides those who come after us. Father, we pray for our children, our family, and all those that you called on us to influence. May they know you intimately, trust you completely, and follow you wholeheartedly. Let us see in me as faith that is real, unwavering, and filled with grace. Break every generational curse, every cycle of pain, and every stronghold that has kept our family from fully experiencing your goodness. Replace fear with faith, doubt with confidence, and struggle with abundance, both spiritually and naturally. In Jesus' name we pray. Yes, Lord. And I am going to bring up our guest, Michael T. Brown.
Be with you, Judy. Appreciate you having me.
I can hear you. Hello, Michael. Thank you for coming to the Generation Turnaround Show. And
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
thank you. And you know what, Michael? I've got a little bio that I'm going to read just real quick because I want you to fill in the blanks that I leave out. All right? Michael T. Brown, LPC, is a dedicated licensed professional counselor with over 20 years of experience empowering individuals, families, and communities. As the principal of Brown's Leadership Consulting, he offers consulting and counseling services. He has served as a national trainer for Y Tribe LLC, a leading resilience education program, and has partnered with the DC Office of the Attorney General for their violence interrupter program since 2020. Michael is the author of Born to Achieve and A Beautiful Challenge, and hosted the Brown Bag with Michael T. Brown on Blog Talk Radio, where he highlighted key community issues. Passionate about education and inspiration, Michael is committed to empowering others while enjoying time with family and friends. Okay, well, come on in and tell everybody who Michael T. Brown is and what are we going to discuss today?
Well, first of all, let me thank you for having me, and thank you for the work you're doing to empower others. And I see myself as a servant. I'm a counselor. I'm a leader, and I'm passionate about helping others reach their goals. I've learned over time that oftentimes the greatest way to help others is through service. And I posture myself as a servant, and I look forward to our conversation today and seeing how we can empower others, to line up with the mission that you talk about, right? Changing generations and turning generations around through parents connecting with children. Very valiant mission. And look forward to our conversation.
Thank you, Michael. Well, I'm going to jump on in. I have a few questions, and you're right, generational turnaround, you're all in it already by identifying the purpose. Now, what are some practical steps young adults can take to discover their unique purpose and it works in this time? Real time.
Yeah, great question. I think one of the best ways to tap into our purpose is to, first of all, have a desire to want to tap into our purpose. I think it starts with, tapping into that God-given desire to want to be successful, to want to make an impact, to want to be great, So some of it, I think, is gifted to us, right? You think about asking a child early on, right? What do you want to be when you grow up? That's one of the first questions, right? One of the first meaningful questions that children are asked. That question points to, right, something in us that needs to come out of us. Kind of like a baby that needs to be birthed. Like God will put something in us that needs to come out of us. And, lining up with our purpose, I think we need to be curious. There needs to be a desire, but then there needs to be energy and effort and hard work that's put into identifying those gifts, those skills, those talents that's in us. And then the willingness to step out on faith with those things and make a positive impact in the lives of others.
And so you remind me of my third question about navigating the challenge. Yeah. That is what, as I said to you earlier, I spend a lot of time at TikTok with young people.
Yes.
And the challenges comes with some of them depression, anxiety, and stress from trying to navigate those challenges and still be able to walk in their purpose. And so in the real time right now, they're trying to get into some corporations with the mindset of, I don't know, I don't believe that I can. I know what I need to know as far as academics, but I don't know how to present myself in a way that they would take me serious and be able to see what I can do. What do you say to that?
I think there's got to be some grit, some determination, some fight in us that's going to help us, that will help propel us towards our goals and help propel us towards our purpose. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. So expect opposition. Expect adversity. There's a term in Stoicism that says adversity is the way. right? Holy Scriptures, the Bible talks about, in this life, there's going to be trials.
Yes.
So expect them.
Yes.
So know that it's coming, have a game plan, but forge ahead. And in order to forge ahead, sometimes we have to deal with those mental health issues, the stress, the anxiety, depression that we all may go through at times. What am I doing about it? What are my coping skills? What are my strategies? Some folks, right, would need to maybe sit down with someone, a therapist, a counselor, a mentor, a coach, a friend, whatever capacity fits best. Have a support system that can strengthen you, that can encourage you, that can remind you of your purpose. And that'll help us navigate it.
So, Michael.
Yes.
What do you, away from my question, what do you do as far as working with whomever to help them excel to another level, so the faith that they need, they will have? Because not just faith, but they will know the knowledge is there.
That's right. A lot of it has to do with, unpacking the pain or difficulty or trauma that we've experienced that may be blocking us. A good pep talk, a great meme, a great story on social media can help spark something in us, but that might not be enough to sustain us. Sometimes we have to go back to the root cause of where we were hurt. Sometimes the reason why we don't reach our goals, right, is because we get stuck in childhood or stuck with what someone said or did. Now, we know we can't go back and change what happened to us, but we can deal with what happened to us. We can process it. We can heal. We can forgive, right? We can let go of the past. And that's what our coaches, our counselors, our mentors are equipped and skilled to help us with, to deal with the root cause issues that may be blocking us, but ultimately putting in place strategies to help us get to the next level. So the knowledge, the skills, the desire that it takes, the knowledge is what to do, what we need to know, the information we need to gain. The skills, right, is our capacity to learn and to put those skills into use. But ultimately, the desire says, I want it. I know there's something in me that needs to be birthed. So we build up our knowledge, our skills, our desire. When we deal with the root cause issues that may be blocking us or hindering us, if we deal with past pain and trauma and triggers, now we've got a really good chance from going from where we are to where we want to go. Does that make sense, Judy?
Yes, that makes a lot of sense. Because, one thing that I found out is it takes the community. I believe that it takes a village. And we have lost that. When I was growing up, there was the village elders who we took what they said as the gospel, as they used to say. And we sit and listen. Right now, that's in question by the young people, because they believe that what happened in our day is not so much happening in their day. So they look at everything different, and especially the judgment. So have you had that problem about judging instead of just trying to teach? You've been told that you're being judgmental.
Let me answer it this way. We can judge a tree by the fruit that it bears.
That's right.
There's a difference between being judgmental and being observant.
Yes.
When we observe something, we should observe it pay close attention to it. But I think we need to avoid just judging people and putting them in a box. You talked about, it takes a village to raise a child. I believe in that principle. And I believe we still do have a village. It just might look different now.
Yeah.
It might look like what you're doing, Judy, saying, let me go out on TikTok and go where the young people are. And even open yourself up to criticism or judgment or even some mockery, but it didn't stop you. And at the end of the day, right, we got to go. Where do you fish? Where do you fish? You go where the fish are.
Yes, ma'am.
So it might not look as traditional as it did before, because sometimes we run into this part of the generational gap is because in many ways, the older generation, we have to point to them, not the young people necessarily.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not talking about fault finding
Right.
or being overly critical, but children don't raise themselves. So if you want to show me one generation, point to the older generation.
Yes.
And that's not about casting blame or fault finding, but it is about taking responsibility.
Yeah.
And if we'll take responsibility and say, you know what am I going to be a part of? The criticism, the naysaying. Am I going to be a critic of the next generation? Or am I going to be a supporter, an encourager, a cheerleader, a coach, a teacher, a mentor? And if we'll do that, that village can start to grow and it can start to expand. I'm big on this next generation. I think betting against this young generation is a bad bet.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, the cream will rise to the top, and there are enough people of goodwill. There are enough positive messages on social media. There's enough mentors and coaches that folks can find that they might not ever meet in person. But because of the technology, they can be inspired. They can be encouraged. Some of my mentors I've never met, but their words, if they're 50, 60, 70, 80 years old, they still resonate. And somebody may be watching this video right now that may watch this 10, 15, 30 years from now, Judy. And they're going to remember the impact that you're making and have something to glean from. So that's why it's so important, right? To not just judge our work or critique our work, but to make an impact in a positive way. Because you never know who you can impact, who you can change. Amazing things happen when we show up and do the work and don't worry so much about who gets the credit.
That's right.
Because there's young people right now who may hear this message, take it, run with it, and say, you know what? I'm going to be great. I'm going to achieve. I'm going to pursue my purpose because something got sparked, something got triggered. And that's a powerful thing. So the village may look different. So I say to any young persons who are out there right now, if you're looking for a mentor, you're looking for a coach, you're looking for a big brother, don't despair because you may have gotten your hand slapped away. There's somebody else out there who's willing, who's able, and who would love to bring you up under their wing and wants to teach you and coach you and help you reach the next level. Because in many ways, Judy, there's no success without a successor. Who are we who are we passing the baton to? Who are we leaving the ladder back for? Yeah.
That's my last week we talked about legacy. That's exactly what you're speaking of, because when you leave a legacy, it's not money or cars or houses. You leaving you're leaving your reputation of what you did.
Your influence.
You were here.
Yeah. You're leaving your impact. You're leaving your influence. That's right.
Yes. So that's last week was all about leaving that legacy.
That's awesome.
Michael, will you tell us about your books?
Yes. I had the opportunity to write 2 books. One more geared towards young people. It's called Born to Achieve. And the second one is called A Beautiful Challenge. Born to Achieve really taps into, in many ways, it's my love letter to youth. So here's some tools you can run with to help you along your journey. It talks about the importance of our education, service, leadership, and some tools to help them navigate young life. A Beautiful Challenge is all about building healthy relationships. How do we communicate more effectively? How do we forgive? How do we relate well to others? And yeah, both of those books are available and accessible that folks can go. We may put it in the chat, my website, brownsleadership.com. They can reach out to my website there and we can get it out to them, anybody who's interested.
Okay. Well, you keep talking. I'm going to try to get this on. It's Brown. Give me the name again. Well, they can
brownsleadership.com, my website.
Okay. Brown Leadership.
Browns with an S.
Leadership.com.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, you keep talking, Michael, and I'm a slow typing. I lost my.
Yeah, and you can even add this, later. You can add this information. They can go to my. Matter of fact, they can go to my. Folks can email me if they want as well. Email at brownsleadership.com. Anybody who wants the book, they can reach out to me directly there. We don't have to allow that to slow up our conversation.
Okay, so when you say Brown's Leadership? Is that an organization, a corporation?
That's my business, my company, where my counseling and consulting falls underneath. Yep.
Okay, can you elaborate a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I'm a therapist, so I see individuals, families, couples in counseling, and also work with businesses and organizations to help them reach their goals. Whether it's dealing with human resource needs, training, consulting, leadership development, all those topics I'm passionate about, and I'm seeing some really good success in it. So folks can reach out if they need to. And I also do public speaking as well, so speaking engagements.
Okay, thank you, Michael. I want to involve myself with you in leaders who see the vision.
Yes.
And it's clear to them.
Yes.
And that you want to continue to, especially young people, to show them that is right now it's content.
Yes, content is king, right?
Yep. Yes. And so we like to show them other content, like what you're talking about, bring them into what could possibly make a difference for not just them. Because I tell you, this young man, he saw money by making fun of others, but he's also a very smart young man when I talk to him.
Yeah.
And he could do so much as an influence because he is an influencer.
Yes. The question becomes, right, what kind of influencer will I be?
Yes.
I believe leadership is influence. Mm-hmm. And every day we get to make a decision, right, about what type of influence, what type of impact we're going to make. It's kind of like the internet. Yes. You can find whatever you want on the internet, good or bad. We all get to make the decision of what we're going to look for and what's going to add value to us. Mm-hmm. And again, I commend you for what was meant to be mockery and to try to embarrass maybe or shame. You went a step beyond and said, let me talk with this young man. Right. So many people, Judy, right, particularly when it comes to the next generation, as soon as they say or do something we don't like, we wash our hands and we walk away.
Yeah.
Now we need to have boundaries. Some people need to be walked away from, right? If they're not, if it's not healthy. However, there are opportunities as well where somebody needs to have a conversation with that person, where the adults in the room, those who may have more wisdom and discernment, more judgment, better judgment, can extend the olive branch and show
Yeah.
grace and show humility. So the story you told me about this young person, right, who tried to maybe try to ridicule you or judge you, you come out looking more like roses in my eyes, because the greatest test of who we are in many ways is how we respond to adversity.
Right.
Ridicule, judgment, mockery, whatever the case may be. Who are we when things don't go well?
And you know, Michael, there was 20,000 young people who joined my live, and they
Wow.
also joined my, how do you say it?
Subscribers? Or?
Yes.
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 Wow.
Yes.
So what the enemy meant for evil,
yes,
God turned it around for your good
turned
and
it
brought people in
yes
to your message and your mission. And then
And
what a powerful
and
thing.
young people said, "You are not funny. This you." They were sending them to hell and everywhere else. No, but I know what they meant.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
They came to your back. They said, "You're not. This is not cool. This is not."
yeah,
You see, that's encouraging, because
yes,
so often people join in the party with negativity, but it's really cool to hear that people joined in with positivity.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. So, Michael, let's. I need to let you have the last word. And what would you like to leave my viewers with knowledge?
Once again, thanks for the platform. And my closing thoughts would be encouraged. Pursue your goals. I would often ask the question of young people, as I used to work as a school counselor as well, Judy, and I would always ask, and I still ask people, what would you do for a career if money were not an issue? If you got to wake up every single day and do what you love, your bills were taken care of, you lived the lifestyle you wanted, money was not an issue, what would you do then based upon your purpose and your passion? I think that question can help drive us today, not just career-wise, but life-wise. Don't let those gifts, those skills, those talents, those God-given gifts, skills, and talents go to waste. Leave it all on the field. Don't let that dream die inside of you. Maybe it's a business idea. Maybe it's something you want for your family. Maybe it's a podcast like Judy is doing. Maybe there's something in you that wakes you up at night and it won't let you go. Don't let it go. Start. Don't despise small beginnings. Start somewhere. Build out. You know, I heard it said, what's the wealthiest place in the world? Right? It's not the Taj Mahal. It's not necessarily financial capitals of the world, New York City, Washington, D.C., or Dubai, or those places. The wealthiest place is the cemetery. Because in many ways, that's where so many dreams and visions go to die. But it doesn't have to be. Don't let it die inside of you. Whatever God has placed in you, he wants a return on his investment. And may he continue to keep you up at night until you get the return on his investment. He put it in you. He wants to get it out of you. And think about all the people that you can help when you bring your skills, your attributes, the blessings that you have, when you bring them to bear. So sometimes we got to get out of our own way, Judy.
Yeah.
So often we run into this. Who am I to go after this? Who are you not to go after? Yeah. Love the process, leave it all on the field. Serve God, serve people, and we're going to do okay. So thanks again for having me.
Thank you, Michael. That was beautiful and so fitting to end this episode. I pray that today was better than yesterday, but not as good as tomorrow. I pray that tomorrow will bring forth a double portion of blessing in the form of opportunity that you never saw coming. Good night. Thank you, Michael, again. Good night, everyone. And I will see you on Thursday at Generational Turnaround Podcast.